Last month, we first told you about an FBI investigation in Ogunquit, that is. Now sources tell us more people have been interviewed. Now, although the agency still will not confirm or deny they're looking into town activities, WMTW has learned the FBI is looking into how town construction projects are handled. Sources tell us they've been asked questions specifically about projects awarded to a particular builder. WMTW News 8's Kyle Jones is here now with what has caught people's attention. Kyle.
Our sources say they've been questioned about projects awarded to David DePietro. He's a Portland-based builder who started bidding on projects in Ogunquit in 2011. Through numerous Freedom of Information Act requests, we've reviewed several of those projects and the invoices paid to DePietro and his company Landtech Development. Here's what we found. In 2013, the board approved $94,000 to replace the roof on the Dunaway Center and the main beach restrooms. DePietro had the second lowest bid, initially $59,000, but that bid was increased by $10,000 to make it $69,000. It's unclear if it was changed before the bid was submitted or sometime after. The lowest bid was $51,000, and it was eliminated, according to town documents, because the contractor didn't attend the mandatory site visit. But he tells us that's not true. He was there. With that bid out, DePietro was the lowest bid and awarded the project. The non-itemized invoices show he was paid $67,000. DePietro's company was the actual lowest bidder for the 2014 remodel of the Perkins Cove bathrooms. That had a budget of $90,000. DePietro's bid was approved by the board for $119,000. The next lowest bid for that project was $139,000. Again, through the invoices with limited details, we can see he was paid $120,000. That's $30,000 over budget. The additional money coming out of a secondary fund. The repairs to the roof on the town's salt shed was approved by the board for the replacement in 2015. It was budgeted at $13,000. DePietro won the project with the highest bid at $23,700, although there's no record in the select board meetings of a vote awarding him the job. Invoices show DePietro was paid this May, seen here in a simple request for $23,000. Two other contractors bid for the job too, both quoting in the mid-teens. In fact, the lowest bid was just under $13,000 that was budgeted. We spoke with the low bidder by phone, and he told us he would have made a profit of about $5,000, even though his bid included a hotel stay for 2 workers and travel costs. Nearly all of DePietro's invoices are not itemized, making it impossible to know the breakdown of how the money was spent. We reached out to the Maine Municipal Association and other communities who tell us unitemized invoices isn't necessarily uncommon, but we did find other projects in town where invoices were itemized. DePietro was awarded at least 10 contracts over the last 5 years, totaling more than $248,000. We spoke to acting town manager Mark O'Brien, who says, quote, "I am still not aware of an FBI investigation and still have not been contacted by the FBI. I'm sure if there was an investigation, we would have been contacted." The attempts to reach David DePietro were unsuccessful. In the newsroom, Kyle Jones, WMTW News 8.
In just a few weeks, the voter-approved law that increases Maine's minimum wage will take effect. State labor officials say that they will enforce that change right away, but not necessarily others. WMTW News 8's political reporter Paul Merrill explains.
Beginning on January 7th, Maine's minimum wage will go up to $9 an hour, but state labor officials say there are other changes that are causing confusion for employers. That's why labor spokeswoman Julie Rabinowitz says until February, the department will focus on educating employers about the new rules rather than enforcing them with a heavy hand.
What we want is employers to not feel like if they call and ask us the information they need to make their employees whole, that we will show up on their doorstep the next morning and audit their books.
Rabinowitz says one area of unanswered questions involves the ongoing legal battle about the threshold at which employers are required to pay workers overtime. She says there's also confusion about the state's sub-minimum wage or tip credit. That will increase to $5 an hour next month, but Governor LePage and other lawmakers are looking to make changes to the referendum that voters passed last month.
I think that the vote in November was decisive, and Maine voters knew exactly what they were voting for. Sure, the legislature can change any law at any time, but that doesn't mean that you hold off enforcement of laws that have been passed.
Amy Halstead is with Mainers for Fair Wages, the group that pushed to pass these changes in November. She says the LePage administration is ignoring the will of the Maine people.
I think this is a partisan attempt by the governor to undermine a law that he hasn't liked from the beginning.
Rabinowitz says the state and federal labor departments do this all the time for periods that are much longer than just a few weeks.
It's reasonable that we do this and make sure that we educate everybody, and so that employers start paying people right from the beginning and we don't have to have investigations down the road.
If next month you think you're not being paid correctly, the Department of Labor says it can't investigate until you actually get a paycheck. Once that happens, if there are still issues, they say have a conversation with your employer. If that doesn't resolve the problem, then call state labor officials. In Augusta, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
And still ahead tonight on Maine's Total Weather and News at 5, some very special elves are wrapping gifts for those in need. A look inside their workshop at 5:26.
But first, after allegations of Russian hacking into November's election, President Obama is promising retaliation. News 8's Sally Kidd has the latest at 5:16.
Maybe you're sitting there thinking to yourself, Tyler, it feels a lot colder today than at this point yesterday. Well, you are correct. Take a look at the 24-hour temperature change. These are not the actual temperature out there right now. It's how much it's changed in the last 24 hours. 8 degrees less in Portland, 12 degrees cooler in Lewiston, 13 in Wiscasset. You get the idea. It's a cold night out there after a cold day. We're looking at continued cold temperatures overnight, followed by some snow for the weekend. More on that coming up.
Okay, well, to say today got off to a chilly start, that would be an understatement. Yeah, -1 right there. Just a little tiny, huh? Tiny bit cold. And that was this morning in Biddeford, and other areas in Maine got a lot colder. The frigid photos courtesy of our photographer, Sean Carpenter, and I know that he was probably not a happy guy this morning.
Surprised the cameras aren't freezing.
I know.
I've been working in that weather right there.
Oh my gosh, I tell you, I remember those days.
It's a cold day.
Yeah, right. She always had the cushy seat, Joe.
No, I did not.
You know
No,
what
I
the
did
worst
not.
part of that too is that, you know, you see -1 there on the bank sign, but that was actually pretty warm this morning.
Yeah,
As far as it went in a lot of areas, we were 5, 10, 15 degrees below zero in a lot of spots, and
If
feeling
you say
even colder
so.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness.
But definitely one of those days you want to bundle up, and as you head out tonight, you're going to want to throw on the layers as well. We're looking at a pretty cold evening on tap. But we're also tracking some snow as we go into the weekend and a messy mix following that. So let's take a look at those storm concerns here as we go through the next 48 hours or so. We're looking at snow starting early tomorrow morning, right around daybreak. It's going to last throughout the day. Then we see a changeover, especially in coastal areas, to sleet, freezing rain, and rain Saturday night. That tapers off for a little while early Sunday, and then we see some more rain move in here later in the day on Sunday. So a lot to get to. We'll try and break it down here day by day, even hour by hour. A winter weather advisory in effect for all of New Hampshire and all of Maine. The purple shading here, that's from 4 a.m. Saturday morning to 7 a.m. on Sunday. And that does mean that we are looking at some difficult travel conditions as a result of this system. So let's push this ahead right around midday tomorrow. We're looking at the snow moving in here again, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and moderate snow coming down at this point in time across most of southern and central Maine. They're stopping this probably right around 1, 2 o'clock or so. Light snow across the mountain areas. Tracking this mix line, though, you'll see the pink there and the green that represents rain. That's going to be trying to work its way onshore as we go through Saturday afternoon. I think it's a little bit underdone. I think coastal sections will change over Saturday night, and then we'll see a little bit of a lull, maybe some freezing drizzle, some plain old drizzle along the coastline, and then we start to see more in the way of freezing rain and rain activity during the day on Sunday in the morning. That starts to push out of here late on Sunday. Looking at some cold air moving in Sunday night, so watch out for black ice as you go about your travel plans on Monday morning. Your snowfall accumulation through the weekend, I think generally speaking, we're looking at 3 to 6 across most of the area. Coastal locations, you're going to change over a little bit sooner, so I think 2 to 4 more likely in those spots. But again, Portland looking at about 4 or 5 inches, a little bit more as you work your way back into parts of western Maine. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 6 to 8 across the foothills into parts of the White Mountains. But again, stay tuned and definitely check back this weekend for updates as the snowfall map changes. Increasing clouds overnight tonight. We're looking at snow late, temperatures dropping off into the single digits, even colder in mountain sections. Snow throughout the day tomorrow. It'll change over, especially along the coast. Temperatures a little bit warmer, closer to the freezing mark. Winds out of the north about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Your 8-day forecast, again, showing a lot of clouds and some messy weather for the weekend. The good news, we're going to turn the page going into next week. We rebound with temperatures closer to 40 and sunshine by next Wednesday and Thursday. Jim?
Thank you much. Our Total Weather team is hard at work putting the finishing touches on our annual winter weather special. From preparation to recreation and, of course, our exclusive winter outlook. Roger, Sarah, Ted, and Mallory will get you ready for the winter in Maine. WMTW Chronicle, a total winter forecast, airs next Friday night, December 23rd at 8 o'clock. It's right after Jeopardy!
President Obama is vowing to take action against Russia for its suspected interference in the presidential election. The Kremlin has denied responsibility for hacking into key Democratic email accounts. WMTW News 8's Sally Kidd is in our Washington bureau, where the president addressed the issue in his year-end news conference this afternoon.
Tracy, President Obama for the first time suggested publicly that the tampering of the U.S. election was personally directed by Russia's president. President Obama says only Russia's highest-ranking officials could have authorized the cyber attacks on the DNC and Clinton campaign email accounts.
Not much happens in Russia without Vladimir Putin.
The president isn't talking specifics, but says the U.S. will take action
To send a clear message to Russia or others not to do this to us, because we can do stuff to you.
Options could include hitting Russia with even tougher sanctions, or perhaps a retaliatory cyber strike. The president says he confronted President Vladimir Putin in September and warned him about carrying out additional attacks that could affect the election process itself.
The most effective way to ensure that